So the first game that I made and released was an iPhone game called Tappy Sack, which is it's like a hacky sack game where you tap to like kick your hacky sack, and I've always enjoyed drawing and painting, so I kind of painted the background and kind of had some animations in the background, like as you play the hacky sack, it would kind of background would come alive, like little butterflies would fly by and there'd be fireflies, and there'd be a whole like day and night cycle. So yeah, it took me like just a weekend to do, and then I put it out there and like no one downloaded it at all. But I did send out a few emails, and I got an article on one. It was Reverend Stu. Do you know Reverend Stu? Yeah. So he quite liked it, and that was really encouraging. So that, like, someone who I later found out was actually like a veteran of like video game journalism, like really liked something that I did. So it was just like really encouraging. And then a friend of mine, Jon Kerney, who's a graphic designer but an animator by profession, we were chatting and we thought, well, it'd be fun to do a game together. So we made a game called Office Chaos. So this is also an iPhone game. And we were just sort of, it was kind of fun thing to do, and also maybe we would make some money out of it. We didn't really know. And, we were still kind of stumbling around, kind of trying to figure out what we were doing. So that was fun. And so, that it didn't really do very well at all, but we did make it free at some point, and it became like number one free app for like a few days in, I think it was Hong Kong. So that was kind of like just really really eye-opening that you could just like, something that like had no marketing behind it at all or anything, could just like become popular somewhere sort of overnight. But it was just free. we didn't make any money out of that being free. I got like 1 million downloads or something, but it, we didn't make any money out of it. And we were in a bit of we were kind of fretting, like, oh, what should we do? How should we capitalize on this? And we were like, oh, should we put ads in it, or what should we do? And we're like, and we just put it back to $1 because we decided now. I even made a prototype, like putting ads in it, and we're just like, nah, it just didn't feel right. So kind of like, I don't know, it felt like it would cheapen it somehow, so it just didn't do that. And then we started working on another game, which was a kind of a running game. And this was before the whole kind of like infinite runner kind of craze hits. It was after Cannonbolt, before Temple Run. And then, so we kind of had something that was almost like a bit like Temple Run, kind of the way it looked, I guess, because it was kind of behind person and someone running and dodging things. And then Temple Run came out, and it was like, oh, it kind of like, it looks quite similar to what we were working on. And we kind of like, so we were kind of a bit sort of, and then that whole genre sort of like just took off and then became like really stale. And we didn't want to seem like we were jumping on that bandwagon, so we kind of like sort of took some time for the project for a while. And we were kind of experimenting lots of ideas for about 3 years. And then Super Hexagon came out, and that was really influential because it was kind of like, I never really experienced anything quite so intense, like in any format, never mind like on a smartphone. And it was just like, I didn't really realize a game could be like that like just emotionally intense to play, and so we kind of basically made our game a lot harder and used a lot of the kind of ideas from Super Hexagon and sort of put them into our game, and also what was really eye-opening was that it wasn't a free-to-play game. It was you paid $3 for it, which I think was like considered kind of premium at the time, and then and it seemed to do like pretty well. I mean, I don't think it's it's not like made millions and millions of dollars, but it got a lot of respect, and a lot of and it was just amazing, kind of very influential. So that then Jon and I released Boson X, which is the game we've been working on, and it like we did feel really good about it. Like we thought it had a lot of like potential. We felt a lot better about it than a lot of the other games we'd done, and so I put a lot of effort into marketing it, in the sense of like I actually wrote quite a few emails, and actually looked up journalists who might be interested in it and put some effort into that and made a video and stuff like that. So put a couple of weeks into actually trying to market it, and that it paid off because some YouTubers picked it up and it became really popular on YouTube for some reason. I don't know. I think card games in general seem to be popular on YouTube because people like to see other people failing at things and being frustrated for some reason. I don't really understand why people enjoy watching that, but it is a thing. So that was kind of like a minor hit, I guess. So and I mean, we certainly made a bit of money out of it. We didn't we still both had our normal jobs and we didn't quit them. It was. It certainly kind of made me feel like, okay, well, like maybe like we're not just dabbling anymore. We kind of like we can actually make something that people will like, and we'll get some. And Terry Kavanagh quite liked it as well, which is like really gratifying to me because he was the one who made Super Hexagon.